Chair, and by the way, Chair, let me just point out, when I woke up this morning, I think I had pinched my nerve on my neck. I just want to put that out there. And so that's why I'm having a problem turning around like that in case I'm
Yeah, so you're turning
funny.
like a truck.
You can see that. I could see in your eyes, you're looking at me a bit funny. But so let me have Dan answer this question kindly.
Yeah, Dan, as you answer the question, tell us that there was an actual expenditure. Okay. Which then was misclassified to purchase of furniture. What was that expense on? That's what we want to know.
Thank you, Chair. Now, if you look at purchase of furniture, is actual acquisition, but there are repairs on this furniture, which you use the repairs and maintenance vote. So the error was they capitalized part of these repairs into the furniture acquisition that brought the misclassification.
That has not addressed the question. It is very simple. You are giving us a lecture on accounts. Yes. Senator Dulu has just asked, was there loss of funds?
No, there is no loss of funds.
Was it lawful to post domestic expenditure on foreign foreign travel?
Now, what happens when you come to domestic and foreign? At times when you are going on foreign, part of the foreign travel is domestic, because when you leave Nakuru to come to Nairobi to the airport, you are still on domestic.
Wait a minute. So you have already accepted that it was a misclassification.
Yes.
So your explanation is moot.
Yes.
So is that lawful?
It's not lawful to misclassify.
Yes. So if it is not lawful, is it possible to identify the officer who did the misclassification?
Yes, it is.
And has administrative action in form of a warning, reprimand, training been taken on that officer?
Yes, on receipt of the Senate recommendation, we forwarded the documents to the relevant department. That's the...
What we have here is a letter addressed to all accountants.
Yes.
I don't think all accountants are incompetent in Nakuru. What we needed you to deal with are the ones who made the 3 posting errors.
Yes.
Why do you want to portray all your accountants as incompetent? I don't think a county with a city would be in that situation. So I think the long and short of it is this. Accountability cannot be global. It must be individual.
Because I asked, let me just maybe ask that question again. That 25,771,536 was misclassified and put under purchase of furniture and general equipment.
Yes.
It was misclassified.
Yes.
Now I'm asking, this money was not used to purchase furniture.
Yes.
What was it used for?
It was used on repairs and maintenance.
And do you have the documents here to show that it was used for purchase of for repairs?
For now, we did not carry those details, but I promised to give the committee the
my
details.
gut instinct is telling me this money was just used for balancing.
Yeah, because that's the impression one gets. Senator Wambua.
Chair, you know, there is a big problem when people try to talk too much when they're answering a simple question. Odudo, that's your name, right?
Yes.
Was taking a very dangerous path, Chair, until you stopped him. Trying to explain the difference between domestic travel and foreign travel. And was trying to tell you that for foreign travel, there is always a component of domestic travel. That if you are coming from Nakuru going to London, then the domestic part is from Nakuru to JKIA. Then from there, it becomes, after the runway, then it is foreign. You see, when we say there is need for training, Chair, this is exactly what we are talking about. Because if that is a confusion then that we have, you will find a lot of those things that you're dealing with. You're buying furniture, you're spending money on furniture, spending money on repairing the furniture, but you say, because this money is being spent on furniture that had already been bought, it is also part of acquisition of furniture. It's a serious problem, Chair. And the decision as to whether money was lost or not cannot be auditors to tell us. It is the auditors to tell us whether money was lost, because they're not carrying out an audit here.
I agree. Auditor, you want to make a comment before I ask the governor to comment, then we give directions?
No, Chair.
You have had the last challenge from Senator Wambua, that if whether money was lost or not cannot come from the client, it needs to come from you.
Yes, Chair, I can make a comment on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, from our appendix, I believe it was repairs that they have stated, and this one can only be corrected by doing a journal, which they ought to have provided us with a journal entry to correct the financial statement, which, from our view, we felt that we'll look at it as we do the final accounts, as we do our audit. Thank you, Chair.
Governor, before, sorry, Senator Chirage, you wanted to make a comment? Or we
No,
ask
I
the
think
governor
the
to-
OAG has just answered.
Your final comment before we give the way forward on this?
Oh, thank you, Chair. I have gotten what exactly it is that you would have wanted to see. And part of what we shall do when we get back there is more, maybe even retraining of these accountants. Thank you.
This matter, even though the OAG has marked it as resolved, we shall keep it in view. We'll advise the OAG to keep it in view. We have seen some effort around administrative action. It is not sufficient. It needs to be specific. It needs to be directed to the accounting officers or the accountants who caused the problem, so that we don't scandalize all the accountants. Secondly, the journal entries ought to be demonstrated, and OAG will be checking on that. And finally, you know, it's easy to say the governor is a CEO, so she knows everything. But I think we have sat here long enough to know that there are certain issues that we must put squarely in the hands of the officers, because the PFM Act and regulations give them that responsibility. So, Mr. Odundo, from your demeanor, you don't look like a man who needs further training. Just apply your knowledge to ensure that the right thing is done. And when I look at the signatories to these financial statements, I can see that they were signed by a Mr. Joseph Malinda, who is a CPSK, who is a member of the Law Society of Kenya, and a Mr. Wilson Mungai, who is a member of ISPAC. So if people with such sterling credentials cannot render proper financial statements, then I think we are having a problem, because this then goes beyond training. In fact, that will then point to the suspicion about that 45.8 million being a balancing act, but OAG keep it in view. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7.
Yes, Chair.
What are the other?
The other, we move to lawfulness under paragraph number 25 on failure to establish departmental training committees. Management did not establish departmental training committees, which may have negatively impacted on the efficient management of training functions for the county executive. This was contrary to paragraph 1.2 of the County Public Service Human Resource Manual 2013 that requires the county to establish departmental training committees to manage the functions.
So that's also another HR related issue.
Yes, and they provided quite a number of them in appendix.
Honorable members, because that's a policy issue, we might not need to go into a lot of details, but I believe that of our list of shame on wage bill, Governor, I think you are around 40% of total revenues. Where is it at? My numbers here indicate something around 40%.
Yeah, about there.
Which is above the 35% threshold. There was a special audit done by the OAG on on human resource across the counties. And those reports have been tabled before the House. And if you're at 40%, you'll be one of those counties that will be calling to go through that report so that we have a much deeper conversation on that. Because you can see the first two issues we dealt with were on training, training policy, and now we are talking of departmental what?
Training committees.
Yeah, so there seems to be quite a number of issues around HR, but I'm happy that there seems to be corrective action being undertaken in that space. So we can mark that as resolved, but